Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today we've got kind of a variety of stuff going on in terms of products. I had originally planned on doing this video dedicated to the E.L.F. and Jen Atkins entire collection, which I do have. However, I have a couple of other things that are not necessarily part of this collection that I wanted to use, so I'm not sure if we're going to keep it to just a E.L.F. video today or if we're going to be incorporating those other products. So we'll see what happens when I edit this video. As you can see, wearing masks is doing wonders for my face, so let's just ignore that for now. I have already gone ahead and done my skincare and moisturized, and I've let that sit for about a minute or two. One of the newer items to my collection that I've been using recently is the Urban Decay All-Nighter Face Primer. I picked this up during the Ulta's 21 Days of Beauty sale and have actually been enjoying it so far. Prior to this primer, I was using either the Ofra Cool as a Cucumber primer or my Hydro Grip, my Milk Makeup Hydro Grip primer. Just kind of rotating those two. But this one has been one that I have been really enjoying. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply that. And I do about one pump, maybe about a pump and a half. And I do feel like it absorbs pretty quickly into my skin. It doesn't leave any additional like luminosity or anything from what I can tell, but my face does look nice and hydrated. This is supposed to be a long wear foundation, gripping foundation, preps, smooths, and perfects. What I'm gonna be using as my base is actually something that I'm trying for the second time. Now, I know I'm super late to the game on this one, but we're gonna be using the E.L.F. Camo CC Cream. Better said, I'm going to be using this or trying this again. So I purchased this CC cream, what was it, like a month and a half, 2 months ago? I purchased it and had planned to film a video with it. However, I was testing it out in terms of shade matching to see if I got the correct shade, and I just really didn't love the way it applied to my face. It started peeling and clinging in all sorts of places, and I just was like, you know what, no, we're gonna return this. So the reason why I decided to try it again is because everybody is raving about it. So I'm wondering if maybe it was just I didn't let my primer sit long enough, or I needed to exfoliate. I don't know, but we're gonna be giving it a shot today, and we're gonna be applying it with the E.L.F. Complexion Duo Brush. This is one that I also picked up recently. You can see mine is a bit stained because I have used it and I have enjoyed this. I used it with my Il Makiage foundation over the weekend. While I'm letting the primer sit for a little bit, let me just show you what I got in terms of the E.L.F. and Jen Atkins collection. So I picked up both of the face palettes. So I got both the light medium and the medium deep. So I picked up both palettes. I picked up 2 of the lip duos. I got in Ready to Go, which is a red shade, and the Se.l.f. Made Pink shade. I also picked up one of the pencil eyeliners. I got mine in Brown to Earth. So there was 2. There was a brown and a black. And I also picked up the hair and brow pomade as well. And full disclosure, this is not going to be a first impression. So I have used, I think, everything in this collection. I got it over a week ago, and I've continued to use it since that first time. So that might be a little bit of an indication of what my thoughts are on it. So now that we've had this primer sitting for a few minutes, I'm going to go into the E.L.F. Camo CC Cream, and I picked up the shade Light 280N is what I picked up. I debated between this shade and the next one that I think was like a medium shade. I think it was like 300 and something warm. It seemed to be a bit more on the warm tone than what I would need. So we're gonna go into the Camo CC. So I'm gonna just pump this on the back of my hand, and you can see that is the shade right there. And I'm gonna apply it just as if I would apply any other foundation or base makeup. This CC cream does have SPF. It has SPF 30 in it, so keep that in mind. So I'm just gonna go ahead and dot it as I normally would any other foundation. And you can see the shade to me is looking a little more neutral than what I would prefer, but let's go ahead and start blending it out and give it a go. And I am using the E.L.F. Complexion brush. Okay, so right off the bat, I think the shade is a little too neutral for my preference. I feel like it's pulling pinky orange, whereas I have more of a warm yellow undertone, so I'm not loving that. You can see the difference between my face and my neck. You can see my neck has kind of like a greenish yellow undertone, but in terms of blending and how it's sitting on the skin, this almost feels like an entirely different product than what I tried last time. No pilling, no bunching or clinging. Wow. The coverage is nice. It seems pretty, you know, medium to buildable. I like the coverage. Okay, wow. So I can understand, I think I can understand the hype now. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side. I used about a little bit less than a full pump on this side. I'm gonna go ahead and just do the same. And I took about half a pump. You guys, I was gonna say low key, but actually I am like high key really loving this brush. This brush is $8, guys. $8. Like some of the other foundation brushes that I use, well, my favorite one is the It Cosmetics Love is the Foundation brush, which is like 30 something dollars. And then there's a Morphe Buffy, the Kabuki one that I also enjoy, but I believe that one's also like $10 or $12. Okay, so we've got one full layer of this CC Cream slash, I'm gonna be calling it a foundation, but in any case, and I am really liking the way it's looking. Wow, this just goes to show sometimes it's worth it to give something a second chance if it didn't work on the first go. And the good thing with e.l.f. is their products are, for the most part, affordable. I think this one is more on the higher end, I would say. For e.l.f. it's $14 if I'm not mistaken, versus some of their other products, so it's getting higher up there. But shoot, for this kind of coverage and finish and the way it's feeling on my skin, wow. Okay, so again, I think the shade is definitely not my favorite. I think it's the neutrality of this shade is clashing with kind of my yellow undertones, and it's giving me a bit of a grayish hint. I don't know if that's coming off on camera, but this is what it's looking like. You can still see some of my acne scars there, but that's fine. I'm not going for a full coverage with this, nor am I expecting it to be a full coverage, even though it does say full coverage. But we didn't even go in with, we didn't go in with a lot. So I'm gonna go ahead and do like my concealer and whatnot off camera, and then we'll come back with some of the other products. I'll be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and did my concealer, and I just used what I usually use. I haven't set my under eye yet because the next product that I want to use is the new Milani Cream blushes, and I have the shade 110 Nude Kiss. I've been hearing some really great things about it. If you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen me post a reel on this product, so I've been using it pretty consistently since then. What I've been doing with this product is actually using it before I go in with my powder blush. So I will apply this after I've done my foundation, my cream contour ish, and my concealer before I set my face or set my under eye. And I've just been taking any brush. This is the Sephora Flawless Airbrush. I think it's a foundation brush, and just taking a little bit and dipping it, and lightly, I'm not adding a whole lot to this kind of general area of my face. And I've really been enjoying this cream product. e.l.f. also has a cream blush that I've tried in the past, and I've used it in a previous video. I think I like this one more in terms of the shade. I think the shade is more my speed of this one. Then again, e.l.f. does have a lot of shades in their putty blush cream blushes, but this one is just such a pretty, the shade in particular, which like I said is Nude Kiss 110, is just a pretty natural pinkish mauve tone. So I really enjoy the way this tone is looking on me. So you can see, look how seamlessly that blended out. I'm not seeing it doesn't do anything funky with my foundation or with my concealer. And you saw that I brought it pretty high up and I already applied my cream contour. I just do a little bit of cream contour and I use the Huda Beauty Tantour. So layering it on top doesn't really, nothing is not working well together. Then I'll go in and set my under eyes. And with that Milani blush, I've used it on top of a couple of foundations. I've used it on top of the Il Makiage foundation. I've used it on top of the Elsie Cosmetics foundation, which if you're interested, I did a whole ranking and semi-review of my top foundations. So I will link that video in the description bar below if you're interested. And now trying and get on top of the E.L.F. Camo CC Cream. So far, no complaints with the foundations that I have used it on. And I'm gonna go ahead and set the rest of my face. We're gonna go into these face palettes from E.L.F. Like I said, I have the light medium and I have the medium deep shade. So these are what the two look like side by side. So light medium, medium deep. So we've got 4 matte eyeshadows and you've got your bronzer, blush, and highlight. Again, this is the light medium. And then we have the medium deep. I really do like the sleek packaging on these. It feels a more like heavier plastic. It looks a little similar to their bite-size eyeshadows, you know, the white with the clear packaging, but this one definitely feels heavier and sturdier. So we've got the light medium on top. I really hope this isn't framed. We've got the light medium on top and the medium deep on bottom. So you can see that color difference. So I think what I'm gonna do for my bronzer is I'm gonna dip into the bronzer into the light medium palette and then see how that goes. I haven't used the face products in these palettes so far. I've mainly just used the eyeshadows. So this is gonna be a bit of a first impression. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply it to where I would normally put my bronzer. This shade might be a little too light for my preference in terms of bronzer. And something doesn't seem to be picking up. I don't know if you guys can see, like right here, I have like this patch. I'm not sure if that's, not sure what's going on there. Okay, so this is the side with the bronzer, side without the bronzer. Keep in mind I have slightly cream contoured and we did already apply the cream blush. I'm thinking this shade just might not be, okay, I should take these earrings off. Give me a second. I'm thinking this shade is just probably not the right shade for me. It might be just a little too light. This side is not giving me the patchiness, so that's good. Let's go ahead and dip into the bronzer of the medium deep. So the medium deep bronzer is quite a bit warmer. You can see that. Tap off and, woo, can you guys see that pigment? So there's no lack of pigment there. Oh wow, that was a lot of pigment. Okay, when in doubt, just take whatever you use for your foundation brush and kind of stipple it on top. Okay, I definitely think the bronzer from the medium deep palette is a better match and is a better match for me. And I am a light to medium skin tone, so keep that in mind. Okay, so this side we've got no patchiness. This side we do. So I'm not quite sure what's happening there. You can see the side that we've got no patchiness. It's blended really nicely. As I said, it is really pigmented. So go with a light hand and build your way up, especially if you're on the light, if you're on the lighter spectrum. Don't know quite what's happening with this patchiness here. So let's go ahead and go into the highlighters. So looking at the highlighters on these two face palette. Oh, I forgot to mention the face palettes are $14 each, which is a higher price point for e.l.f. for the most part. However, like I said, this packaging definitely feels a bit more luxe than e.l.f.'s typical packaging. Okay, so in terms of the highlighters, I'm definitely not gonna be going into the one from the medium deep. That is quite a bit deeper. That is quite a bit deeper than I would go for. However, that's it right there. This would be a great eyeshadow. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch it for you guys. So that is the highlighter from the medium deep palette. So you've got the light medium highlighter right next to it, which definitely is looking like more of what would work for me. And you can see they're not necessarily blinding highlights, which is totally fine by me. I'm actually thinking these palettes will be great to take on my vacation next month, my honeymoon. I'm finally getting married, guys. With COVID, it got pushed back, but it's finally happening and I'm so excited. So these are gonna be great palettes to take traveling. I mean, these are kind of your everyday colors if you're, depending on what type of vacation you're going on. We're going to a tropical kind of beach area, so I don't think I'm going to be wearing a lot of makeup there, but just to get, you know, just to get like a simple everyday look, or do a smoky eye, and then you can add the highlighter on the lid for something a little extra, and then you can take an accent palette with a little bit more color if just in case. So definitely, these are definitely going with me on vacation. So I'm going to go into that highlight, one of e.l.f.'s highlighter brushes from the Nabella Noor collection, and just gonna go ahead. Oh, wow. I was not expecting that. Can you guys see that? That's really pretty. Like I said, I haven't used the face products from these palettes. It is a gold highlight. I think for me and my skin tone, I'm just looking on my mirror here, this is actually a great shade. I think if you're lighter than I am, this might be a little too dark. Okay, so we've got the highlight. So far, I am really impressed with these face products. I think the bronzer is the only one that I'm like, and that's just because we got that patchiness on this side. Let's move into the blush on these palettes. I think I'm gonna go into the blush from the light medium, so the one on top, just because it's a bit lighter pink, and I'm just thinking, you know, vacation beach vibes. I wanna go for a lighter pink, more fresh. So I'm just taking my regular blush brush, and I'm just gonna tap and blend up. And keep in mind, we do have that Milani cream blush underneath already. We're just kind of seeing how this works on top of the other products that we've already applied. Okay, I'm liking that. A little subtle pink. I think now that I've layered kind of my other products on top, you can't quite tell how off the shade was, but when you're looking my neck and my face, you can still see it, the pinky versus yellowish green undertones. But that's an easy fix, just getting another color. I'm gonna use some of these eyeshadows. I think because we're going for a more light, you know, light pink, we went on the face. I'm gonna use the shades from the light medium palette. So it comes with this kind of lighter flesh tone shade, and then some, so kind of like a highlight, maybe crease to give some depth, and then outer corner-ish is what I'm thinking. This color right here may look black on camera, but it's actually more of a like brownish black, almost purple. Let me go ahead and swatch. Ooh, look how rich of a brown shade that is. And then in the medium deep palette, the darkest shade is actually black. So let's go ahead and give, wow, e.l.f. Wow. Okay, let me go ahead and swatch the black. Okay, look at that, guys. I mean, I'm not one that uses black eyeshadow often, but when you need a black eyeshadow, or even like as an eyeliner, instead of using regular liner, I mean, hello. Okay, let me grab my eyeshadow brushes and I'll do a quick kind of look with those, and then we'll come back and I'll give you my thoughts. Alrighty guys, so we are back. This is kind of the look that I came up with. And like I said, I was gonna use mostly the light medium palette, which is what I did. For the lid, I did use the highlight shade from the medium deep palette. And just like I expected, look how pretty that lid shade is. I am honestly loving these palettes. Like I said, this isn't my first go at the eyeshadows. So I've used the eyeshadows maybe 2 or 3 times before. So I already knew that I enjoyed them. So for the eyes, what I did is I went ahead and took this shade right here to kind of frame my like V shape and be kind of my transition shade, I guess you would say. I added in this kind of deeper brown as to give me some depth into the crease. And then I used the darkest shade to line my lash line and kind of bring it out. And then the highlight shade from the medium deep palette all over the lid, and went ahead and put on some mascara. The other item before we move on to lips from this collection that we are going to try out is going to be the eyeliner. And these are wood liners. This one is called the Zero Effort Liner, and it is in the shade Brown to Earth. So you can see it looks like a pencil, even the way it's sharpened. I'm going to go ahead and tight line with this, and I am going to kind of place it in my waterline just towards the outer area of my eye and maybe pull it out just a little bit. That is really pigmented. I'm just taking the eyeshadow brush that I use to apply that darker brown color on the outer corner, and I'm kind of dragging it up so I can get this kind of fake wing liner and connecting it here at the corner. Well, this went very sultry pretty quick. I was not expecting it to go that way. So those are the eyes and the complexion. I think so far everything has been a win. I'm super excited. Last but not least, we've got the lip duos. These lip duos came in 3 shades. There's a red, a pink, and a brown shade. I purposely didn't pick up the brown shade just because I have quite a bit of like brown flesh tone, quote unquote, nude shades. That's what I usually like to wear. So I wanted to kind of venture out and get something a little bit different. So duos come with the lip liner and the lip shade, and the packaging does have a little weight to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and swatch the red for you. So that is the red shade there. You can see it's a very bright red, which is not something that I would usually wear, but surprisingly enough, I did enjoy it. And right below is the pink shade. So I believe it's called Self-Made Pink. So what I want to do with this eye, I'm going to go into the pink, and we might add a little bit of the red to give it a bit of an oomph in the middle. Let's see. Let's go into the lip liner. So this is what the lip liner looks like. You can see it has a really pointed edge. Okay, so we've got the lip liner on. You can see it is a pinkish mauve shade. It is not as dark as I would like it to be. My lips naturally are have a darker tint, so generally light lip liners like this don't always work for me, but we're gonna go ahead and apply the lip stick portion. And like I said, I have worn these before, and I will say they're not particularly long wearing, so it is something that you will need to reapply, on top of the fact that I was wearing a mask when I tried them last, so keep that in mind. They are creamy and comfortable on the lips. So this is the shade, it's Self-Made Pink. Definitely a pinkier shade. I don't normally wear shades like this. I think if I paired it maybe with a darker lip liner, I'd be more inclined to wear this. Let's go ahead and try the red shade for you guys. And we're gonna go in with the red shade, which is called Ready to Go. And again, I'm gonna line with it. Okay, we're gonna go with the lip color. I will say the lip liner is a bit on the dry side, so it's not as creamy as I would like. Surprisingly enough, even though this is a bright red shade, I actually feel like I prefer this shade over the pink one. My lip lining application wasn't the best, but you get the idea. So this is the Ready to Go shade, which I do really love. I actually think it goes really nicely with this eye look. I think that's it. Oh, one more thing. The hair and brow pomade. So I didn't even fill in my brows, but let's go ahead and just give this a shot to see what it does just on bare brows. Oh, the brush is interesting. So this reminds me of a toothbrush. That's what it looks like. Let's go ahead and just comb this through and see what happens. With the brow pomade, without. What do you guys think? I mean, a brow pomade is a brow pomade in my opinion. I don't think I've had one necessarily that I'm like, ugh, no. I obviously can't speak to the longevity of it because we're not doing a wear test today. I didn't feel like this brush deposits a lot of product, to be honest. So I didn't really feel like, you know, but you can see it is pushing my brows up compared to this one. So, but I don't feel a lot of product coming up on the brush. So I kind of like this brush actually. I feel like it helps me lift the individual hairs. Can you see that? Yeah, not bad. I mean, not knocking my socks off, but not bad. So we've come to the end of the video. Like I said, it was mainly focused on the new E.L.F. and Jen Atkins collection, which I would say for the most part were 10 out of 10 out of the products that I tried. I think there was one or two other products in the collection that I didn't pick up. I think there was like a setting spray or something like that. I didn't pick that up. The brow pomade is, I mean, I'm not crazy about it, but I am happy to have it, so I will keep using that and see how that goes. The face and eye palettes I think are a great option. They are a neutral palette. So if you enjoy makeup like I do, you likely have something with these shades in your collection already, so don't feel like you need to run out and buy them necessarily. The CC Cream, I stand corrected. So glad I gave this a second go. I am gonna have to purchase one in my correct shade and maybe figure out who this will match that I can gift this Milani Cream Blush, love. And then the lip duos. The pink shade is not my favorite. I think with the darker lip liner, I can make it work. And the red, I'm actually pleasantly surprised. I do feel like this lip needs maybe like a lip gloss because it is a little bit on the drying side. Eyeliner, so far so good. I think it really helped elevate this look and made it more sultry, more smoky eye. Yeah, so that is, oh, and the E.L.F. Brush. Definitely get this. If you're gonna pick up one thing from this entire video, I would say get the E.L.F. brush. Secondly, I would say the palette and or the CC Cream. Thank you so much for tuning into another video. Our YouTube family is growing and I'm super excited about that and to have you all here with me. Make sure you hit the like button if you enjoyed this video or these types of videos reviewing entire collections, or let me know in the comments if you prefer just like a get ready with me using a bunch of new products. Which one do you prefer? Let me know. Make sure to hit the subscribe button on your way out and I will see you in my next video. Bye.